approaching. Protect the strategic position at all costs. The enemy is capturing our strategic position. Coordinates confirmed. Capture the last strategic position. We are capturing a position. Enemy disarmed. We captured all command posts. Round start. Defend the command post from enemy units. The enemy is capturing our strategic position. Our strategic position. The enemy is capturing 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 our strategic position. captured the command post. Fall back. Retreat to the second position. You must protect it. Enemies approaching. Protect the strategic position at all costs. Our strategic position. We captured more positions than the enemy. Defend the command post. Our strategic position. The enemy is capturing our strategic position. The enemy is capturing our strategic position. our strategic position. The enemy captured the command post. Fall back. Retreat to the second position. You must protect it. Enemies approaching. Protect the strategic position at all costs. The enemy is capturing our strategic position. The enemy is capturing our strategic position. The enemy is capturing our strategic position. The enemy has captured another position. Only one left. Defend it at all costs. Retreat to the last strategic position.
fix these. Can you hear me?
Said to me, you can't go on that road because I've just come.
Did you just not answer your phone?
Not while I'm wearing my headset, no.
I heard that the
I thought you were still at the store. I'll text you, like, are you back yet?
No.
I don't know what the
Fuck, man. I'm in game. Invite me.
Because if I,
I can't invite you while I'm in game.
We were heading across that way towards the Melba.
You know how fucking me.
To give anyone advice on actually which
just go to my name and select join session.
To me to say, well, look, you can go that way, it's safe. And I mean, the only thing I could say is, look, I think all I can offer you is the main street of town. Because this is where I'm going to be.
The blaze that started an hour and a half ago near the Murrumbidgee River has been pushed by the hot wind across the Black Ranges.
Well, that must be full.
Sitting a few kilometres to the north, out of the fire's path, is the picturesque town of Marysville. Directly up above.
Yeah, Quick should be back soon.
What would normally
I texted him, told him I was jumping on. I can't play for too long, like max 10:30.
Except that it was pretty obvious it was smoke directly above me, like 12 o'clock high.
Well, I don't know when he's supposed to be back.
I mean, that was pretty dramatic. I really had no idea, but I thought that has got to be very, very close. Amateur cameraman Darryl Hull works at the Crossways Inn. His boss Greg and his wife Pam have been busy there all day. It's only now that they notice the smoke.
A fire plan hadn't come into my mind at that stage, but at 5 o'clock I did ring my daughter and spoke to her husband and said, have you heard anything on the news? Or can you have a look? Can you check websites? And they quickly did that while I was on the phone, some of it. There were no updates at that point, about 5 o'clock. And I just said, we'll try to keep in touch. This feels to me very grim.
How the fuck?
The sensation was that I don't think we're doing a night's work tonight. Something's very, very close. So we had to keep our eyes on it. At which point I started to walk towards the oval just to see what was there.
The first towards the oval.
It was empty, which I thought was unusual. The rule in town was if ever there was trouble of any kind in town, that you'd head to the oval. And after I'd been filming for a while, I heard the siren go off twice. And I'm thinking, right, danger is upon us. And then it cut out. However, the siren is not to alert locals, but CFA members. And because they're already out fighting fires, it's switched off. When the siren cut out, I automatically thought, false alarm. Okay, I don't have to worry to the degree that I would have. If the siren had kept going,
Dick.
You would know we've got trouble.
They're sprinkling the house, and Jonathan's up on the roof. He's filled the downside with rags.
Just 10 kilometers.
It'd be great if you would get the fuck out the way.
The Densoms in Buxton have been preparing their home.
How the hell did he survive that?
As city dwellers for much of their lives, they've never confronted a bushfire before.
Oh my god.
How much of our way we've set up the fire plan and stuff, how much it was predicated on not wanting to look bad. That we're not idiot blowings from the city, that we're just as tough and fire hardy as the locals.
Jonathan leaves the home.
You know what? I feel like being a rifleman right now.
To take a look at the smoke from the nearby ridge.
Yes.
I want to play.
Just as I'm
Oh my god, fine. Jesus.
make up my mind, the flame came up. Could see the fire.
I'll work everything around you.
At the top of the
He's
fire,
gonna get on in a second. His lights in his car won't shut
2
off.
kilometres away, maybe a bit less.
Did he try flipping the switch?
You could actually see the flame. And all of a sudden...
He's probably going to want to get on
when I saw that,
Rocket League.
What am I doing? That's enough. Let's just leave.
I want to hear him rage in this game.
Leave now.
In Kinglake West, the fire has passed through, but the area will burn for many hours yet. This house is safe, but just down the road, Jason Lynn lays in the middle of
Let's see.
Everything around him destroyed. And then his mobile rings.
Oh,
His
that's
boss is on the line.
Actually, no, it's
He said
not.
to me, I can remember him saying
I
to me,
hear
like,
every word
"Get in
so
the dam."
clearly.
Yeah, get in the dam. So I kept going.
He just kept going.
I must have, I don't know if I just hung up on him or what. I just thought, yeah,
Alright, so we're just waiting on Quick then.
give it another go, because it's just getting too hot laying here. And I'm just getting too weak.
Fuck it.
So I just crawled along, and I felt the dam was big, and I just crawled down, got where the water was, turned around, and just crawled in backwards.
We'll play until he gets here.
Maybe.
Sounds good.
And he's here.
I didn't think anyone would come. I didn't know how long I could hang on, you know. If I die like this, it's just worse.
Oh, you on the enemy
I
team.
suppose too, I was actually thinking.
Oh, I am? I'm gonna kill the shit out of you.
My kids.
Oh, you think that? I killed Quick a lot today.
Okay. But you're just a sniper. I know how you play.
Actually, I'm not a sniper right now.
Jason's children, Joshua
I watched
and
your
Julia,
stream.
and
You
their
just
mother
camp
Ruth.
and
fled
I
just
can't
before
believe
the
you
fire
camping
alarm.
piece of crap. I agree with
Their
Robo. You
whereabouts
piece of
is
crap.
unknown.
Talk behind my back like that. You think I didn't hear that?
Jason
You just mad because I kept killing you, bitch.
You probably on the spot while you did it.
You.
I couldn't shout out, say, "Oh, I'm
Man.
down here," or anything. I'm just laying there. And then I heard someone say, "He's down in here."
How
I
dare
hardly
you?
talk.
It's a
And
huge
he
map.
said, "Can you squeeze me hand?" And I could squeeze his hand. And he said to me, he goes, "Oh, well, if you made it this far, you'll be right now, mate." And then straight
Why
away,
warfares?
almost instantly, your mind shifts to
It's
my
fine.
wife, Ruth, and my two kids, Joshua and Julia. What, what happened to them?
I can't find nobody. This map is so big.
Jason's next-door neighbours have already lost their
God damn
fight
it.
to survive.
Found someone, but they
The
killed him.
former Channel 9 newsreader, Brian Naylor, and his wife, Moiri, were fully prepared to stay and defend.
Oh man, this map is
14 more
trash.
perish in Kinglake West alone. It's just after 5:30. An enormous smoke plume hangs over pretty
I've seen one
Marysville.
person this entire game.
The town receives its first
Controller died.
official radio warning.
You still haven't charged it.
So we've got an existing threat message
No, I'm plugging
out
in
for the
right
community in
now. I didn't
Navajo,
plug it in while I was
which came
away.
under
I don't know
Emperor
why.
attack this
I
afternoon.
see
We're
that.
now extending that threat message to include the communities of Marysville and Buxton, which we also expect to come under
Can I just
direct
find
attack from
somebody?
fire.
Less than a kilometre from the Oval, spot
fuck just
fires have
happened?
already broken out on Kings Road. The CFA captain is at the scene.
We ended
I just
up
slipped on a
with
banana
both
peel.
tank and the Marysville pumper.
Yeah, that's a grenade.
Virtually, we had
I didn't die.
our entire crew up there. And we're all good friends and mates. My son Callan was on the
But
pumper
I
crew.
still have not seen anyone.
So of course I was quite concerned for Callan's welfare.
Pam, at the
Oh, this is
Crossways
riveting.
Inn, knows it's time for her and her husband Greg
Are you having
to
any
make
luck?
a decision.
I went out the back and said to Greg, what should I do? Because
Six
the
always
wind
has
suddenly became so very strong.
I
I
said,
said,
can't
should I
find
go?
anyone.
Should I stay? Can I
This
help
map
you?
is like,
He said,
this
at
is like a
this moment,
fucking,
every person must make
what's it
their own
called? What do you
decision.
call those maps
And
that
he went
it's like
on
100
with his
versus
work, and I said, I
everyone?
have to go. We didn't even really have
Battle Royale. Let's get Battle Royale
anything
map.
else, or goodbyes, or
That's on here
good
too.
lucks, or anything.
It's too
I
big.
left him
This
with
is
the hose.
this is probably the map they use for Battle Royale. Finally killed somebody.
6:15, and CFA strike teams from other towns are on their way to help.
I was aware of cars fleeing in the other direction intermittently at high speeds, and of a horrible purple, brown, black, boiling, cumulus column of hell above Marysville. And I remember saying to Jamie in the front seat, Jamie, oh, this is something beyond anything I could have even imagined.
Told you you'd want to play Rocket League.
Oh, I'll play Rocket League.
Smoke was very evidently over the back of Mount Kitchener.
it was apparent that there was trouble looming. I mean, serious trouble.
I got a ring.
And then at around about that time, the police came screaming down.
I saw the police car come into the oval. They did a circle and they were just telling people to head for Alexandra to get out, really.
What mode are
Claire
we
was very
playing?
concerned that I should get in the car.
Bag and tag.
But I couldn't do that. I
Play some
didn't
regular
like
old team
the thought of a
deathmatch.
convoy of cars, and with that thought that the fire was possibly already ahead of us, the only vision I could think of was burnt out wrecks beside the highway where people had died in cars, and I thought, that's not going to be my end. I'm not going to do it that way. I was going to the lake and I was going to make sure that happened. Others in Marysville are going nowhere. Greg Cherry is ready to defend the Crossways Inn. His wife Pam leaves in the police convoy.
I glanced quickly at the Crossways. I just hoped he'd got in another car and gone already. They didn't feel as though there was time to stop, and I knew he wouldn't come. If he were still here, he wouldn't leave. He'd already said he'd stay. Yeah, stay with the place, try and save it.
Glenn Fisk has left the spot fires on King's Road and is on the way to the CFA shed. But first, there's his wife Liz and youngest son to see.
When I got up to the driveway, Dalton met me at the door, and said that Mum was on the phone. I said, "I'll leave Mum on the phone. You're looking pretty right." He was dressed in his in overalls, and he had goggles, and he had gloves on. He had firefighter's boots on. He was he'd done all of his preparation. I said to him to look after his mum and to make some good decisions. And I left him there.
You know, as long as I get through this whole game without getting killed by 60s, I'm fine.
Back to the fire station.
Well, where are you at, buddy?
Just running around.
By early evening, 90 fires are raging right across the state. Another major blaze will
I didn't
soon
even
start
realize
at
he was on the other
Beechwood.
fucking team.
Towns have already been
I
obliterated.
got murdered several times by him.
At least 50 lives already lost. But everything is about to get worse. Much worse. Gale-force northerly winds have pushed all today's major fires to the southeast.
Damn it.
But the wind is starting to shift direction.
Let's get the trophy sky high.
The southerly change begins to push the fires northeast. The effect will be devastating.
That's the fear of everyone. That's everybody's fear, is that if you haven't got the eastern flank of the fire controlled, it's going to turn and push.
I cannot wait for this round to be over.
And that's what it did. That's what it
2
does.
minutes.
And that's what it did.
We need a smaller
And
map,
what happens
bro.
on the wind change
This
is that
insane.
50 kilometre flank of the fire then suddenly becomes the head of the
The
fire.
scale of
So
this is
instead
like
of
2
having about
miles.
A 5 or 6 kilometre wide fire, we've now got a 50 kilometre wide fire after the wind change.
And this is exactly what's happening to the fire that started at Kilmore East. The 50-kilometre flank, stretching to Strathewen and St Andrews, is now the huge new front of the fire. Many more towns are in range. At the top of the mountain, King Lake is one of the first in line.
No panic, no fear, none of those emotions.
Whoops.
Just put the plan into action, and the fire will go over the top of your house, and then when it's gone over the top of your house, you come out with your mop and bucket and you put out the embers. We knew the plan. We had been told it 100 times. We knew it off by heart.
The Clarks
Stop camping 60s.
Nick
Oh.
son Danny and their grandchildren, 15-year-old Mackenzie, 13-year-old Aidan, and 9-year-old Neve.
I killed
Neighbours
60s, who's
Melanie and
camping.
Penny, the Chambers sisters, also shelter.
Dude.
It's not hard to kill somebody when they
I
don't
was still in
move.
shorts
Right.
and a shirt and thongs sort of
I
thing.
did it a little earlier.
And Danny, my son, come out and told me to go and put your fire
And
stuff
then
on
again,
your
he killed
wound,
me like a
jumper
half a
and your
million times before I even realized he was on the
I
other
said,
team
yeah,
too.
righto. And he said, no, I'll just spray out here.
I'm watching for him.
With a firefighter, he was going. So I was lucky he come in and told me to do
All I gotta
that.
do is listen to that fucking sniper
That
rifle.
was one thing he, he's still arguing me and saying, you're silly, you're doing the wrong, you're doing this wrong, because he always said that to me anyway, I was always doing something wrong.
Six.
So anyway, he made me go and show
He got me.
Man, he's good at everything.
He finally got me.
Getting into thicker clothes.
You say finally like you killed me multiple times.
I killed you twice.
No, you didn't. You killed me once.
And
Oh, it'll show the next time I
I
kill
came
you.
in
Oh,
with
wait,
their
sounds like I killed
animals,
you.
Damn it.
and I said,
No, it
Oh, there's
doesn't.
only 1 second left. It'll tell you what your record is with that person.
we need to wet some towels and
Where?
put them in front of the doors.
Whenever you kill them. Or whenever they kill you, it'll tell you how many times they killed you, how many times
King
you
Lake
killed
has
them.
been warned once.
Oh yeah,
on
it
the
does.
radio,
It shows you.
and
Wow.
the threat message has just flashed up for the first time on the CFA website.
Look at you down in 5th place.
But with the fire racing towards the main street,
Whatever down there.
warnings are now irrelevant.
I didn't see anybody for the first fucking 5 minutes of the game.
There was people crowding at the fire station.
I got 13 kills.
People crying, kids or people crying.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I whooped Six's ass earlier with 21 over 20.
A wall of flame that came
On
up.
the, on the same team.
Up so fast.
So,
I want to do some Rocket League. I want to get
seen
up.
the lights on.
Me and my tier up, dude.
As the town is engulfed, those on the main street scramble for
I don't choose. You gotta vote.
This cafe becomes an emergency refuge for the stranded.
That is not accurate. You can pick your
While just
category.
yards away,
Would you like me to host?
From the
I'm
embers
almost
started
to
coming,
74.
It was like a hailstorm of embers coming across the top of the roof and laying on
Getting
top of
there,
me, which
man.
is just coming down. Just like hail.
I don't see any voting.
So
That's because the vote was already done.
the front's on fire, and I directed the hose over the roof.
Not my fault you weren't paying attention.
And
The
that didn't
screen
seem
just
to do
popped up
nothing.
for me. Oh, I'm
And that's
sorry.
when they said, you
Yeah,
better
it
get
kinda
in the
lags
house.
here and
So
there.
I came racing. I just dropped the hose and raced into the house to help them in there. And by this time, Jen had blocked all the
Let's
doorways
go
up with
see
wet
some
towels.
awesome fireworks.
And the girls were laying down, the chamber girls, and
Oh, the same team.
Mac and Danny and my
I don't even see you.
girl all in the hallway.
Oh, there you are.
And Aiden and me were stepping over the top
There
of
you are.
to carry the buckets to the lounge room.
I need to get a hold of Mum and
No,
Dad.
this game
I need
does
to let them know
pretty laggy, yeah.
that Ross has got fire and that it could be coming towards them. And so I
What
rang.
can you expect from a mobile game, though,
Eventually,
guys?
Danny answered my brother Danny answered the phone and said, "Beth, we're stuffed." And I go, "What's wrong?" And he goes,
we're on
"We're
the
surrounded by
black
fire." I said, "You're kidding?" He goes, "No, we're surrounded by fire." I could hear
I
the
can hear
smoke
you
alarms
breathing.
and I could hear the dogs and the kids all crying and screaming in the background and.
Inhale.
He said
Exhale.
we're just stuck. He said there's no CFA. We're stuck.
Yeah.
We're completely surrounded. I said, can you get out? He said we can't get out. We can't do anything. He said we're stuck. And I said, okay, mate. I said I'll let you go. Just do your best.
Why the fuck did I start all the way over here?
I wished I made him give me the phone to one of the kids, so that I could have at least.
Oh, that's a grenade.
I walked into the lounge room to make sure that,
Battery.
that,
Dumb fucking
that
thing.
everything was sort of alright.
Dumb
And
fucking controller.
I've had floor-to-ceiling windows for it in the lounge room, and they just all blew in simultaneously, and the fire was in the lounge room.
They were breaking and popping, and then
I just joined 2
the
noobs.
curtains caught on fire, which we hadn't taken
I got 3
down.
kills with a grenade.
It's another thing we had no
Oh
problem with,
yes!
which we knew we
That's
had
awesome,
to do.
dude. Fuck
Once
yeah.
the curtains caught on fire, the smoke filled the house up, and you just couldn't breathe and see. And we,
Okay,
Aiden
I
and
see
me
what's
carrying
going on.
buckets of water.
This
and
guy's
throwing
pulling
on
a
the-
6.
on the
Play it for the
windows,
other
trying
team.
to douse the fire.
This guy's playing a 6 move here. I don't have a teammate.
And then
Oh, hell no.
we
Alright,
had to
I'm
get
coming
out
to
there
fucking
and
warp
we
this.
couldn't get the kids out.
Shit,
We
I'm
yelled
going
at them.
this is,
They
yeah.
couldn't hear it.
Fuck that.
So we opened the front door, and the fire was still burning. But I went out and had a look. I said, come on, we've got to get out this way. And I grabbed Aiden and Jen and said, come on, quick, get out. And we yelled at the other kids, go out the back door. Go out the back door. You'll be right. Because they're all down the hallway where the back door was. And we...
How did he even get me?
Jenny and we got in the front door.
No.
And they didn't come out.
And we called their names. And Aiden was hanging on to me still.
Send me an invite whenever you guys
And then
can.
I thought I might be able to get round the side and get in through the laundry door. And I tried to run around that side and
got a double kill.
Get through the fire.
I didn't bring the cigarette shit. I did, damn it.
And she was still screaming.
Oh, grenade.
Screaming and screaming. The kids not saying nothing we can do, sweet, nothing we can do.
I did. Fuck.
And she said, oh. And she started to feel the pain and with all the burns then, and they start to affect her.
Damn reload.
And with all the smoke she's taken in, she couldn't breathe.
And then I knew that I had to ring Becky to let her know, because I couldn't have that.
Goodness gracious. There goes the fire.
Right below you, 6.
I couldn't not let her know
Oh, never mind, you don't know.
that the children were dead.
To your left.
Not the repair.
And I don't know,
I'm expired.
Hayden just dialed the number and don't ask me why, but we got through. And I told her.
And she said, Beck, they're all gone. And I thought, what do you mean they're gone? Gone where? She was, no, Beck,
fucking
they're
grenades.
Gone. They're dead. The house is burnt down. I couldn't get them out. They're gone.
And she screamed and screamed and screamed. And then their phone just went dead.
That breathing is so sexy.
God damn it.
Janet Clark, 15-year-old nephew Mackenzie, neighbours Melanie and Penny Chambers, and little 9-year-old Neve, all lost their lives.
Oh my God.
Champ keeps killing me.
One another in the same home.
I keep finding their claymores.
No, I fucking hate run. You're not running
The wind
sniper?
change has hit
Yeah.
in the southeast.
You just run
The
sniper?
fire that started at lunchtime
Pretty much.
in Churchill is now being pushed in a completely new direction. It reaches up into the Strzelecki Ranges.
Oh, bullshit.
The steep inclines pushing the fire quicker and quicker. Temperatures scorch beyond 1,000 degrees. Hotter than a kiln.
God damn it.
By 7 o'clock, the fire reaches Caligny.
2 kills with a grenade.
One of Victoria's worst ever bushfires in 1939.
So there's a beat Rebel
Takes to the
3.
trenches once again.
Oh, I got 4 earlier.
Was it recorded?
Yeah, actually it was.
Out of 19th Street. Ashes and dropping on you.
Oh,
All of a sudden, you know, it was
God damn it.
the smoke and
Shit
nothing
games,
and heat, and we knew it was there, but generally you can fight it. But this particular one, it just seemed to hit you, but you hadn't a chance.
God damn.
Charlie and his neighbours received their first radio warning more than an hour after Caligny begins to burn.
Fucking game's kind of annoying every now and again.
We are bringing you information as soon as it comes to hand, and as we speak, I'm handed a printout here of an urgent threat message. The Glendonald Road fire is currently burning in and around Traralgon South.
Did Six tell you about how you fucking murked the extra round?
Residents may be directly impacted by this fire.
Yeah, we were playing fucking Heat Seeker, murdered everybody and lost once.
God damn it.
Still very confident. I've got the hose, plenty water, plenty flour. Now it's busy on me, you know. All of a sudden the water put out. I didn't know why. Now it's
Damn it.
had to get away from the house if I could. couldn't stand up, and I got my feet into the ground like that and kicked myself along and on my elbow, you see. Just half leg there, watching the roof falling. And at that stage, well, to put him on, I was buggered.
7 o'clock in Strathewen.
Huh. How the hell do you know I was standing there?
The cluster bomb of fires enveloped the town. Mary Evola's still not heard any news about her husband, Peter.
He was behind me in another car. And, he'd gone off the road a bit further up.
Damn it.
And I'd sort of waited for him and expected to have him follow me. But, at that stage, he hadn't, so he was up there somewhere.
This fucking area is lit up.
The infernos burn so ferociously that
Oh my
only
God.
now CFA crews can force their way in.
It's that same fucking guy.
That damn game has
I came over the hill,
No, it's the dude's name starts with a D.
and the first sight I saw was a young chap that was driving me, his parents' house fully enveloped, just a blazing inferno. That house was fully enveloped, and there was not one thing in Strathewen that wasn't burned.
Where's Kevin? We need Kevin in here.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you face
God
something like
damn
that?
it.
Never joined the CFA to
I don't know if he has warfare.
confront this.
I do not know.
I have no idea.
Not the magnitude and the catastrophe that was.
But David
Surprisingly,
grimly makes
Kevin
his way
said
further
nothing
in
wrong while
and
I was playing with
discovers
him.
the true loss.
Believe it or not.
We got up to the oval.
It was astonishing. Seriously.
Oh,
I was literally
still,
blown away.
I can still see it now. The
21 and 18. Alright, quit out the main menu.
David had known Peter Evola for almost 40 years.
Gotta wait until it gets
Peter
past the
never did
voting
make it
part.
through the fire as he tried to escape in his car. He waved his wife Mary on, hoping that she at least would survive.
Mary on?
I went 22 and 16.
And apparently Peter must have got out of the car and he ran from where the car was.
He's still running. Yeah, he's still running sniper. What are you running, Robo?
Across the oval.
Just the assault rifle.
And he was only perhaps
Running gun.
400 metres from where
Right.
I got to safety.
That's exactly what I do.
And he wasn't burned.
I think I may play medic this time, though.
He was still a whole person. And he
If
was
I
only
get invited to a game.
that far from me.
Hold on.
I will not.
We got 22 minutes and I'm getting off.
I met him at a dance. And he had his white shirt, his black vest,
Yeah,
black
right.
pants and his pointy shoes. And he had
Team deathmatch.
slick back hair with the kiss girl on his
I
forehead.
did. She's medic.
And he was the most handsome thing I'd ever seen.
Just waiting on Robo. There we go.
He's always been
I think I'm gonna do rifleman.
I
That we all
chose
love
too
so
fast
much.
like an idiot. I went rifle.
Peter is not alone. Hayden McMahon was due to start a graphic design course the following week. This is the last photograph taken of him.
Thank you for putting that on me, by the way.
Robert O'Sullivan should have been
We're all the same
celebrated
team,
with
boys.
40. He was fully prepared to stay and defend.
100 years.
In all,
Why is it called
22
100
lose their lives in a
years?
township of just 250.
That's stupid.
It felt like 100 years.
It felt like 100 years.
Red
but it
alert, we
wasn't.
can actually see the photo from here.
I know, I was gonna
What
go.
do you want out of here?
There's a bit
Why
of
are we on the
critical
same team,
alert.
damn it?
Take off.
Want to murder.
Apparently the fire is heading this way.
In Buxton, the wind change is
I
upon
want to go
them.
the opposite way. Fuck that.
After packing for the past hour, the Densoms finally realise fighting fires isn't for them.
Clearly, we actually had an option. Got Otto, who was a 3-year-old, and I couldn't believe that they'd taken that long to.
I'm not gonna sleep on here this time. I might.
Looks a bit ominous. Smoke billowing around.
Thank
the
you.
prediction is the fire's headed straight for Buxton and us.
We paused and I said goodbye to the property. Really? Looking at the flames.
And then we drove.
I ain't breathing that yellow
10
air.
kilometres away, but just minutes by fire, is Marysville. For 70 years, it's felt safe, nestled in a valley. But this very fact is about to be the town's undoing. As the wind change hits, the postcard perfect setting becomes a fire trap.
Which is scary.
Because Marysville's basically surrounded by mountains around there.
Ouch.
The
That
embers
guy.
aren't going to continue to blow up the hillsides. They basically find this calm area, basically fall out. So Marysville itself then becomes a bowl that's capturing all the embers that have been produced from the fire on the range.
I watched that too.
Marysville is attacked from above. Thousands of raining embers explode onto the town.
Damn it.
Firefighters are helpless, forced to seek cover at the Oval.
The truck was just being blasted continuously by debris. The air was just full of stuff, branches and rocks and burning embers, and it was just absolutely like soup. And I think the speed and intensity with which the fire just enveloped and just completely surrounded and
we got 100.
It was just
I can't shoot him
staggering.
because I don't have a high freaking turn rate. Somebody get him, please.
Dark and eerie to everything was on fire just in an instant.
It's RPD guy. It's RPD guy.
Everywhere as far as we could see.
I tagged him.
With the town burning, Daryl Hull, guided by a hand of fate, swims to the middle of the town's lake.
The ember storm was so significant, like a meteor shower really, that I knew I was going to need some protection, and the strangest thing was that I just reached out my arm,
get up here.
And there was a branch, a perfect umbrella. Green and wet, almost with a handle attached, just waiting for me to pick it up. And I suppose I had that uncanny sense that something was looking after me.
There's Johnny in front of the trailer. It seemed to be fire all over the place.
The Marysville Inferno.
Oh, you were on the sniper this time?
Yeah.
But they have no idea about this or any other fire.
We had been listening to ABC radio all the way in the car, so we were trying to keep on top of where the fires were.
Ouch! All right.
Because the potential was that we could have been driving into a fire that we didn't know about.
And we were going, what's going on? Because we knew how close the fire was to Buxton. So they weren't even then giving Buxton warnings, let alone saying Buxton was under any kind of attack, which we know that it was by 7:30, 8 o'clock.
That grenade hurt me.
That was a
grenade hurt
really
me
good
too.
point, that we knew some
supposed
stuff
to go through
about the fires that's not being said on radio. So what else is not being said on radio?
Having survived in the lake,
Finally, I got
has
killed.
made it to the Oval.
Oh,
I just
goodness
started
gracious, that
filming
guy.
as carefully as I could. You know, the horror that was going on around us.
Oh, that
I
was
suppose I was just amazed to find myself
Bull.
there, that I'd got through it. I had no idea
sucker.
if anybody who'd tried to escape town had escaped town. And I had no idea
I already killed that
lives
guy.
might have been lost in any of the
Okay.
buildings I
Okay.
saw.
So there's other people over here. Cool. All right.
It's very hard to stand on the Oval and realise the entire town was going up. It was just impossible to think about.
This is frightening when I turn a corner and
Everything was on fire around us, literally everything in all directions from the 360 degrees that we could see. Every building was on fire, every bit of vegetation was on fire. There was
all the gas cylinders in the town were venting and exploding in huge fireballs, and there was shrapnel flying around, and trees were burning through and falling down, and it was an incredibly dangerous and hostile environment. And the horrendous and the frustrating part of being trapped there was that our pages were going off incessantly with fire calls, with pleas for help for people that were trapped in houses and trapped in cars on roads, and it was just an endless procession of pager messages, pleading, begging us to help, and we could do nothing. We couldn't even move off the oval.
Patients are slowly trickling into hospitals. The Northern is the nearest emergency department to the worst hit areas. One of the first patients to arrive is a 35-year-old man from Kinglake West. His eyes are melded shut. He's motionless, but somehow alive after sheltering in a dam as his home.
Yes, you can.
I can remember Dr. Helen coming in and saying, introducing himself and asking me questions.
Just push start and swap to medic.
And
oh shit, I forgot about that.
And saying that, you know,
I'm too tied into rifleman now. Oh,
they'll be all right.
He had significant difficulty opening his eyes, and I would need to raise his eyelids. I would try to get him to engage with doing that. He just couldn't. So there really wasn't much communication at all. What he certainly did say was,
I got him.
where
Fuck
is
off.
my wife? Where are my children?
Black Andy.
Jason's wife Ruth and their two children fled minutes before the fire arrived. Hospital staff will try to discover if they're still alive. In the meantime, they do manage to call Jason's mother.
I said to her, Ruth and the kids are, you know? And she said, I'm
I
sure
knew
they'll
I
be
should have
all
threw
right.
my grenade through that motherfucking goddamn hole.
Jason's hometown is obliterated. And in Kinglake, the injured are being brought to the CFA shed.
There's too
Among
many
them,
over here.
Jen
What is
Clark,
happening?
who has suffered 30%
I got 3
burns
kill on
and
that
can
one.
barely breathe. Her husband Mick comforts her, but there is no comfort. They've lost a son and 2 grandchildren.
Fuck me in the fucking ass.
No one seemed to know what was going on. Everyone was telling everybody that they're trying to get help in, the ambulances are coming, and we knew they weren't coming because they couldn't get anywhere. They couldn't get up any of the roads to reach us. And the helicopter couldn't land because
there's 2
it's
of
full
them.
of smoke and fire. There's nowhere for it to land. So we knew that was out.
There's no anything. There's no medication. There's no nothing. And someone, I don't quite know who, broke into the doctor's office and stole
I nearly killed myself.
got the oxygen and brought it over.
At this stage, I'm feeling terrible.
All right,
I
switch
think
back
I
to
was going to
sniper.
lose Jen. But then, that'll be the end. That's what I thought. I'm going to lose her.
I didn't care. I felt it was probably right, you know, in a sort of a way. But that, you know, I'd been the one on duty, and I'd not got him out. That's it, in a nutshell. That's what I felt.
There's a guy right behind that fucking cargo camping like a bitch right outside the spawn.
3 carloads.
Yeah, I know. I threw a fucking grenade at that asshole.
Yeah.
Ah, fucking.
Really good.
There's 2 of them, 3 of
The
them
police
now.
will convoy the Clarks to Whittlesea,
And
25
that
kilometres away.
I
A
didn't
medical
want-
relief centre is
Excuse
being
me?
set up in the town. Their daughter Beck is already there when her husband arrives.
Someone came and said, Beck, I think Ross is here. So I came out looking for him, and it was just, you know, hug and hold each
Fuck,
other and
how did he
cry our
turn on
eyes
me like
out
that?
together. So, and he, you know, asked me all the
God
same questions. You know, are you
fucking
sure? You know,
Claymore.
is this for real? Is it whatever? You know, and I just said, yeah. I said I spoke to Mum. You know. So yeah, that was about it.
That dude's still there.
What do you do?
I'm going back to sniper.
What do you do? And so, you know,
I get hit with a fucking shotgun! I'm terrible at it. I hate shotgun. I'm not good. No.
Tried to get your head round it.
Boo. Boo.
How much?
Boo.
18 and 12.
12 and 18.
And a
I do well at
devastation
this.
that is beyond the physical.
Yeah.
I got 10 more minutes till I get off, guys.
I couldn't believe both sides of roads are on fire, trees are on fire, cars are all on the side of the road or in the ditch, all burning, and all of a sudden you drive.
They're not last.
There's
so
nothing.
I'm happy about that.
There's no one on fire.
See that second
Missed a
place
little
with 17
bit. You go a bit
headshots?
further.
That is
4 or 5
It's missed another little bit, and all of a sudden both sides of the road again are burning and joining together, and the fire is burning out of control.
Someone mentions that another police car's coming, and so we waited, and it pulls up,
0.7.
and they pull out
I lost by 2 points.
this
That's so
woman,
sucky.
and they put her on a gurney, and the people that I was with said, "That's not Mum." I looked and I said, "Mary, I thought I had failed my daughter, and that how could I go on when I'm in charge of her children? How can I ever go and face her again?" And so yeah. She was covered in blisters on her arms, and her legs were just burnt and blistered, and she was quite messy, and looked like she was in a lot of pain. Then Becky came in, and she said, came over to me, and she said,
Bless you.
she came down, she said, "Don't you fucking die on me. Don't you dare fucking die on me. I need you. I cannot get through this without you. Don't you dare die." So I thought, no, I better bloody not.
Jen only just survived, trying to save her loved ones. Others in Kinglake died doing the same thing. Rob Davey and his wife Natasha lost their lives alongside their 2 children, Georgia 3 and Alexis 8 months, at their home on Bald Spur Road. 15 perished on this one single street.
Fucking crazy, right? Bitch, I can't see you. Fuck.
But the fire that destroys
fucking
Kinglake
God, just
is
die,
just one
please.
more
I got first
cruel
blood.
card to play.
I got second.
It heads north into the townships of Hazeldean and Flowerdale. Those living on the ridges are hardest hit.
Shit.
Their homes undefendable. But the Flowerdale pub still has a chance. Out in the open and protected by a main road, it's an unofficial refuge. The landlord and a handful of locals have decided to stay and fight.
When it got dark and you could really see the fire coming through, you know, in the ranges and everything. And, you know,
there's no fucking way, dude.
Where in the fuck did they go?
Sight. I've got to admit, it's quite mesmerising.
What the
But I also wanted it
Oh, damn it.
to come, because I was sick of waiting for the
God,
bastard. I was
shit,
just
didn't
sick of
reload.
waiting and being able to do nothing at all.
Rekill.
We're all beginning to get very, very scared. We're all getting very, very conscious of what's about to take place. And we could see it coming from the Kinglake area towards us as well. So by this stage, it's almost 360 degrees around us.
We had fire bearing down on us straight down the highway, coming through the kind of paddocks, coming up the creek. We had fires behind the pub. We had fires just to the north of the pub.
There was spot fires just wherever you looked, and it was a matter of just going over there or yelling at someone else to get out there if they could.
Oh, bull.
They attacked the rear paddock closest to our motel units. We had a fence line that was about a metre from the units.
Die by grenade.
And
fuck pussy.
I remember we made the conclusion it wasn't going to get past
Where you
it.
at?
We weren't going to let it get past that point.
You ain't gonna find me. You think I'm gonna cross that bridge? You're silly.
We made sure it didn't get any further.
You know, we really didn't have much to fight an actual fire with. You know, it was bucket and mops.
The guy
It
is
was chaos.
also
It was
another
absolute
level
chaos
there.
for hours. Absolute hours.
But Steve and his mates are in luck. A drop in the wind and a gust of local initiative favours the defenders. After fighting for 6 hours or more, the 90-year-old timber pub is saved.
You know, we weren't CFA people. We weren't under any
got killed by a fucking
centralised management. And it just seemed to me that people seemed
This
to
guy.
know with a
He's
kind
hiding
of
in the
instinctual
waterfall.
thing how to work together. And
Okay.
kind of what
I'm
to
okay
do.
with that.
In the surrounding
let me kill
hills,
another one.
there is only sorrow. The fire that started over 12 hours ago at Kilmore East has claimed 9 more lives in the precincts of Flowerdale and nearby Hazeldean.
Boo. Boo. Whatever.
Well to the southeast in Coligny, they're still fighting.
Ah!
97-year-old Charlie Richardson
He just
has watched
double
his
killed me.
home go up in flames.
Oh.
Badly burnt and alone for 3 hours, he suddenly sees hope.
Ah, he's about to triple kill me.
Anyway, I heard a vehicle go past. So I started using my head a bit more, and in a few minutes another one went past. And so I'm not in the right place. So I managed to get up to the gate in the corner with my torch. And 2 or 3 went past and I flashed it over them, but they kept going. So I struggled on and managed to get to the mailboxes on the main road.
Oh, it's 6. I'm sorry
There
for...
came another one down and I flashed the light.
Oh, you good?
And he stopped.
I think I was the first vehicle that had a spare seat, so we jumped in my car and we came down the... We drove him back down the hill. It took us a while to get down. We had to move some more trees off the road on the way back down, but he was just happy to have a drink of water. And as I found out later, his gumboots had stuck to his feet and he was very badly burnt, but he did not complain much.
Look at me now. I've lost everything. Nothing on the watch left.
Come around here. Demi.
Torch.
You'll never get me.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
I'm gonna claymore the fuck out of you. You're gonna deserve it. You're gonna love it.
In 2 or 3 minutes, I read this last time a bit.
I'm being hunted. Please help. Please help. Please help.
11 of Charlie's neighbours perish in the pitiless lottery of the fire. Alfred Frendo and his son Scott fled their home only to be killed on the road as the fire
I'm 15
hit
and
their
5.
house.
I'm 5 and 5.
10 o'clock in Melbourne. Information from the disaster zone is so sketchy that news of the day's first deaths is only now coming through.
Police have confirmed that 14 people have been killed in today's bushfires across Victoria. 6 have been killed at Kinglake, 4 at Wandong, 3 at Strathewen and 1 at Clonbinane.
Oh, what? No way.
You get in the car to go home and you feel
How
like
in the hell?
you feel absolutely terrible.
An 8.
And you get home, which I did.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
I walked in the door and I said to my wife what was going on, and she said, "That's terrible." You know, she said, "I've just heard on the radio." And I said to her, "It's going to be a lot worse." And she said, "Like what?" And I said, "A real lot worse."
He still sees me. Are you kidding me?
I distinctly remember she tried to put numbers into my mouth.
Oh my
And I couldn't
god.
say it because I didn't know, but I knew.
I
it
can't
was
even
going
show
to be worse.
myself. The sniper needs to take him out. He's in the far building.
For those in
Tiny little
Marysville,
crack in it.
it doesn't look like it can get much worse. The fire has moved so quickly and communications are so stretched that the tragedy here is not known to the outside world.
Why in the world?
There's been an update from the DSE on the Marysville Township. The DSE understands that everyone's safe in Marysville and they're assembled at Gallipoli Park. So just repeating that, the DSE understands that everyone is safe in Marysville and they're all assembled at Gallipoli Park.
I remembered ringing my wife up at Marysville when we were on the Oval, and she was at work at the Northern Hospital, and she's a wonderful CFA wife.
Damn it, fucking reload.
Has the score, and she knew that she could see the fires in all the ranges, and of course the hospital's been impacted by fires. And
11 and 6.
she never has a mobile phone on ever. And the phone went called a ring, and she answered.
18 and 6.
And I said, I'm okay. And she said, where are you? And I go, I'm in Marysville. And she said, oh, well, that's fine. And I said, no. Nobody knew. Nobody knew about Marysville at that point. And I said to her, the whole town is gone, Mandy. And she said, oh, it can't be. And I said, the whole town is gone.
This is ridiculous. They're just waiting.
And it was.
Well, yeah, they're losing, that's why.
For those who managed to escape, refuge has been found.
Can't even see those motherfuckers.
But confusion reigns. Pam from the Crossways Inn is safely in Alexandra, 40 kilometres away. But she's frantic for news of her husband Greg, who stayed behind.
I would hear from one source that he was okay. And then I met other people coming in saying, we haven't seen him and the Crossways is gone. So I was getting different reports really all night. People thought that everything had burned. So I'd actually sent phone text to my brothers saying, I believe the Crossways is gone. And I haven't heard from Greg.
Pam isn't the only one desperate to know of loved ones. The CFA captain returns home with a local policeman to discover if his wife and youngest son have survived.
We went around up the driveway. The driveway's fairly steep. We get up to the top of the driveway, and it's very hot. The house is still burning ferociously. Yeah.
Shit,
it was very, very hot. And there was obviously no signs of Liz and Dalton there.
Can I please just murder? Thank you.
Big chunk of time between the last time that I'd been there. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure of what had happened, because I was hoping that when there was no obvious signs of them, I was hoping that they got away, that they weren't there.
12-12.
18-8.
Yeah.
Alright, guys,
One
that's
of
it.
the most popular
Love.
towns in Victoria is all but red.
Latest. Alright, so you want to hop on Rocket League now?
This is just impossible. It's simply got to be impossible. I don't believe